What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. My name is JD Savage. If you don't know me, I'm a seven-figure affiliate marketer, and what I do is I teach people to make money online. And I've done that for a long time. I've been a sales trainer now for 3 decades. I know it seems crazy to say it out loud, but yeah, I've been a sales trainer for 3 decades. And this video particularly is less about what to do. Well, it's about both, I guess. What to do and what not to do. I've compiled 10 things over the last 3 decades that I see that causes people to kind of suck at sales, suck at affiliate marketing, suck in general when they're trying to market anything. So if that's you, or you could be better, you should listen up. As a matter of fact, what you should do is you should grab a pen or pencil or something to write with, take a rock and scratch it on the sidewalk, whatever you need to do, because we're going to go over 10 things that will change your entire outcome. Okay. And I'm dead serious. These things are so simple, really, as with most things, right? It's not that things are so complicated. It's maybe this, we've never thought about it. We don't understand it. We've never heard it. I don't know, but let me get my microphone where it belongs. Let's see here. Speaking of which, number one, put your microphone where it belongs. No, I'm joking. That's not actually one of them. Okay. So we're going to go over this. I hope you're ready. If you're not, please pause the video, grab something to write with, because we're going to go in depth on what it actually takes. Okay. To be successful in affiliate marketing and honestly sales in general. Like I said, sales trainer, I've trained people all over the globe. And these are the 10 things that I find that really cause people a great deal of problem. And they're really easy to fall into. Number one, short-term goals over long-term mindset, right? What am I talking about there? Well, people come into affiliate marketing and I get it, right? It's like they've got this goal. They see these gurus. They see things like, oh, this guy made $100,000 last week. Okay. There's some things there that aren't being disclosed when it comes to that. And number one, what the main thing is that they put in the time, energy, and effort, right? And we'll talk more about what's required, but they put in the time, energy, and effort to build an audience. Okay, so let's just say you see a video and the guy's like, well, or the woman's like, well, I took on this new product, service, whatever, and bing, bang, boom, I made, $50,000 in 5 days, 4 days, 2 days, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's just an example. Here's the interesting thing about that. Think about it this way. If Michael Jordan tomorrow said, hey, you know what? I'm not a fan of Nikes anymore. Not that he would, but if he did, and he said, Reebok's are where it's at, and he went on social media and TV and wherever, right, and announced that, do you think the Nike or the Reebok sales would spike? I believe they would. Okay. So as an example, he has a massive audience. Okay. And I'm not saying the influencers have the audience that Michael Jordan does. That's not the point. It's just a ridiculous example. You got to put that in perspective. Okay. They've taken the time, energy, and effort to build an audience. Now, is that to say that you can't make money online really quickly? Even as a beginner with zero audience, you absolutely can. But you do have to put in the time, energy, and effort to build some audience, some presence, some awareness, right? Because it's kind of like this. If a friend comes up to you, and this is what affiliate marketing is it's just recommending a product or service. If a friend comes up to you and says, hey, I got this, whatever, and I use it in the kitchen, and it's amazing. Oh my God, it's the best thing I've ever gotten. And they're raving about it. You might be likely to buy that product. But if a stranger on the street comes up to you and said the same thing about the same product, aren't you far less likely to be interested in that product because you don't know them? You don't have a basis for their opinion? Right. I would imagine you're nodding your head to that question, that the answer is yes, you'd be less interested. Same thing here, guys. So realistically, I made some notes about that. Here's realistically what I've seen. 6 to 12 months, you should plan to put in time, energy, and effort, not before you see any return, but before you see a substantial return, right? Before you start seeing some pretty promising returns. Why? Because you're building trust. You're building an audience. You're building a place where people know who you are. That's the whole point and the power of social media. There's almost 5 billion people on social media, and 80% of those people are there every day looking at social media. That is massive. It gives you a giant resource, provided you don't set expectations on yourself that are completely unrealistic based on something that you saw on the internet or some promise that was made to you, okay? All right, that's number one. Short-term goals over long-term mindset. Don't fall for it. It ruins more careers and sales and affiliate marketing before they even get started, because what they're starting out with is unrealistic to begin with. Please don't fall for that. Okay. Number two, no plan. What do I mean by that? Well, people come in, they feel like they're drinking from a fire hose. They're getting a ton of information and they don't really have a plan. So they try a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And they heard this guy say that and this girl say that. And they're just basically throwing mud at the wall randomly. And the most important part to understand, guys, inconsistently. Okay. Inconsistency is one of the biggest problems. There's zero plan made there. Okay. So what am I saying? Have an organized plan, and we'll get more into that. All right. But No plan is number 2. That's what just destroys things before they even get started. Number 3 is kind of a touchy subject for a lot of people, especially right now, the way economics are, the way things are, right? And it's been that way throughout history. I remember 2008. I remember salespeople saying, oh, what am I going to do? And everybody kind of, right? If you remember that time, if you're old enough to remember that time. I get it. I understand that sometimes you come in, and this is like the Hail Mary, right? You come into sales, you come into affiliate marketing, you're like, I need money now. Only focusing on the money creates a problem for you because it shows, right? If your only interest is the money, then you tend to treat your clients or your new prospects as ATMs. Here's the interesting thing, guys. Everybody wants to buy. Nobody wants to be sold. But when you consider what people want to buy, take yourself as an example. When you're motivated, interested, excited to buy something, what is it typically, right? And it's core, right? It might be a car, it might be a purse, it might be a wallet, it might be a whatever. But it's a solution to a problem that you perceive that you have. So what do I mean by that? You say, well, it's silly. How could a new car be a solution to a problem? Well, maybe the old car breaks down. Maybe the old car isn't as reliable. Maybe the old car doesn't make you feel like you want to feel while you're driving it. Maybe you park around the block and walk to the meeting because you don't want people to know you're driving that car. You see how it solves a problem? And ladies listening, the purse, right? What problem does that solve? How could that process? Well, it makes you feel good, right? Or otherwise, if it made you feel bad, you probably wouldn't want to buy it, would you? So what am I saying? Focus on giving value and solving problems far more than you focus on the money, and the money will come, right? It's like a give-take thing. When you provide a solution, people are happy to buy the solution. When all you're focused on is a paycheck, here's the interesting thing. Those people watching you don't give a damn if you get a paycheck or not, okay? So really, take that into consideration. Build your brand and your authority in your niche. That's one of the notes that I made on that one because it's really important, guys. When you look around the world, that's who does well, is people that have built their authority in that niche. I'm asking you to do the same thing, okay? And for those of you that don't know, I show you how to do that right here for free. I've got a new series here that I'm building out right now. Take a look at it, okay? I mean, really, just take a look at it. The things I teach in these series, like this series here, all of this is applicable to any sales, any marketing. It's all applicable. Whether you like the platforms that I represent, whether you don't like them, it doesn't matter. You can take that information, it's viable, and use it anywhere. Let's move on to number 4, not investing in yourself. Okay, I see this all the time. Right? People have 5 large screen TVs in their house, but they won't put any money into their education. Or they went to college for umpteen years and paid however much money to get a degree that they're really not using, or not using to its capacity at this point, or can't use anymore because it's outdated. But they won't invest $200 into some books, into a course, into something that will fast track their success and find somebody that has already done it. Does that make sense? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me at all, right? They've got umpteen pair of shoes in their closet. They've got how many cars in the garage, large screen TVs, all the stuff. They tend to spend their money in a way that makes it look like they have more money, right? People who have a lot of money tend not to do that. They tend to spend their money to make more money, if that makes sense, okay? So process that for a second. They spend their money to make more money, and not all of their money, but a lot of it, right? They tend to put their money in a direction to make more money. If you're not doing that, then you're making a mistake. I'm here to tell you, if you're not doing that, you're making a mistake, right? I've seen both sides of this story. And for the folks that are interested in spending money to make it look like they have more money, never tend to have a whole lot more money. They get whatever they get, but they don't have a massive amount of money and a massive amount of freedom. Don't fall for it. It's a trap. The whole keeping up with the Joneses thing. It's a nightmare, and it's not worth your time, energy, and effort. Being scared to leave your comfort zone. All right, guys, this is a big one, and I get it. I've talked about social narrative and comfort zone and people's relationship to the comfort zone, right? And I use air quotes like a dork because I think that saying is garbage, right? If it's so comfortable, if our comfort zone, again, air quotes, is so comfortable, then why do we complain about it so much? Let that sink in for a second. If our comfort zone is so fantastic and it's so cushy and comfortable, why do we complain about it? Right? I'm here to contest that saying. I think it sucks. It's not comfortable, right? It's just an excuse we give ourselves. Oh, it's a comfort zone. Well, yeah. And we're so used to hearing it. It's like, oh, yeah, that's the comfort zone. No, it's not. It's the suck zone. It's the not comfort zone. It's the horrible I complain about it zone. So if you're willing to take a look at it, maybe just change your terminology around that topic. Because if it's so comfortable, then you wouldn't complain about it, okay? Um, I've literally had people like I teach people to make short form video, right? Not like this longer form video, but short form video, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 15 seconds. And I've literally had clients, guys, I get it, that have told me they had to get drunk first, right? Like, I mean, that may sound silly to you, depending upon what you think about that, but I've had clients told me they had to get drunk first to get relaxed enough to even turn on the camera, right? Hey, look, to me, whatever it takes to get going, right? Whatever it takes to get going. If you got to get drunk, I guess maybe not so too drunk, and maybe don't don't publish it if you are. But if what you got to do is persuade yourself to get in front of the camera, to get moving, to get to share your opinion, and not worry about the negative feedback of some of those people out there, hey, that's what it's all about, right? And I get it here. You know, think about it this way. And I don't want to go too deep into this because it'll get me off topic, but our social narrative dictates that we're rewarded for being consistent. Right? Even if our consistency makes us unhappy, even if that consistency makes us not feel good about ourselves, society says if you're consistent, that's a great thing. And there is reward for consistency, and there is plus side to consistency, provided you're doing something consistently that makes you feel like you're making progress. If you're not making progress, then you're highly likely going to be unhappy. Does that make sense? See what other notes I made about that. Yeah, okay. The athlete example, everybody can relate to that. If you consider what an athlete has to go through, and I mean an elite athlete, right? They're constantly stepping out of their comfort zone. And most of us can see an athlete, whether it's, whether you like baseball, basketball, the Olympics, whatever it is, when somebody performs at a high level, you look at that person and you can tell that they're constantly stretching their capacity, right? They're constantly stretching their capacity. And we tend to admire that, right? We admire it in others and we admire it in ourselves. But what happens when we go to apply that, right? Maybe we're not quite sure what to do. Maybe we're not sure of all the pieces, right? Like I mentioned earlier, just doing random things inconsistently. Right? And it kind of dies out, it fizzles out. So what I would tell you is if who you admire shows consistency in stretching themselves and stepping out of that comfort zone, right? Air quotes again. Why wouldn't you do it yourself? Why wouldn't you think about the idea of working on yourself enough to get yourself, if it's got to be baby steps are steps, it's progress. What you should look for here in this one on number 5, okay, being scared to get out of your comfort zone, is progress. Not massive things at the beginning, okay, to be clear, just progress, right? Depending upon, meet yourself where you're at. That's what I've always told all my coaching clients is meet yourself where you're at, right? They look at these grandiose examples in the world. They're like, that's what I want. Okay, good. But that person didn't start here. They might have started here. And I promise you, they didn't go from here to here. They went from here to here to here. And they might have fell back here based on the way they were feeling that day. And they picked themselves back up and they went here. And they went here. And then eventually, right, the scales balance. Action dictates results every time, all the time. Okay? And I don't want to harp on that, but it's a pretty passionate topic for me because I've spent 3 decades of my life talking about it. Let's move on to number 6. Not building an email list. Salespeople in general, man, I can't tell you the importance of building an email list. You've probably heard this before, right? They say the money's in the list. Yeah, I mean, the money's in the list, but why is the money in the list? The money is in the list because you can follow up. The money is in the list because you can retarget, build relationships and familiarity with a large group of people. That's why. It allows you, versus somebody seeing you once and they never see you again, or they see you again in 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, however those crazy algorithms work, right? It allows you to retarget those people and stay in front of them with viable information on something they're interested in and become the authority in that niche, okay? Really, 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 really important. And if that's something of interest to you, I will mention here that I recently launched Endless Income Academy. It's not quite public yet. I built it, I should say, with another 7-figure affiliate, John Archberger. And what we've created is very unique in that it's an ecosystem, because you may not realize this, depending upon your level of experience with email lists, but each time you use your email list, you're diminishing your reach. And real simply, real fast here, what do I mean by that? When you go and use a big platform, that platform is also collecting your contacts' email list, and now they're retargeting and remarketing to them. We've created an ecosystem where that doesn't happen, right? And a lot of other things. But anyway, Endless Income Academy, check it out. Look into it if you're interested in affiliate marketing and you want to get started with a bang, okay? Avoiding real conversations with people. Boy, I can't tell you how many times I see this. not making yourself available to have an actual conversation with a real, like a real human, right? Whether that's office hours on Zoom, creating a community. My phone number is on the bottom of all of my long form YouTube videos, and you'd be surprised, not that many people actually reach out, right? People prefer email, they prefer, and that's fine, right? That also is another one I put on my list here. Just make yourself available to answer questions. Office hours on Zoom, that's another good one, right? Where people can come in your community and feel like they have contact with you, or can contact you, or can ask you a question and get a valid answer where you're not just removed. I see so many people like, I'm just going to stand back and I'm just going to splatter gun garbage all over the internet and I'm going to make millions. I've never seen that work, actually. Not one time. I mean, I've seen it tried thousands of times, right? By people, because unfortunately they get unrealistic expectations because some of the claims made on the internet, right? Am I saying it's their fault? Not really, because we have confirmation bias as humans. We want to believe that that can work. However, guys, it does not tend to work. So focus on the human side and creating content that actually helps people, okay? And then make yourself available to respond in some way, whether it's an hour a week, whether it's whatever you can spare. But just making an effort to actually make contact with that human. Not treating them like an ATM, knowing what's going on with them, what their problems are, what their fears are, what they need, how you can help them. The human element means everything. Don't forget that. It's crucial, right? And the people that I see that try to neglect that tend to fizzle out quickly or never get started at all. Not really. They might make 50 grand and feel like, oh my God, look what I did. But it's one time and they're gone, right? Because things start to fizzle out. They can't figure out why. Well, that's why. That's a big reason why. That's not the only reason why, but it's a massive reason as to why, okay? Let's see. Trying to be on every social platform. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, there's ways to go about doing that effectively, and there's ways to go about doing that incorrectly, right? These days, you make a reel, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 1 minute, whatever. You can post that reel to multiple platforms, but your real-time energy and effort needs to be narrowed down to 1 to 2 platforms. You might post over there, right? Let's just take Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram as an example, okay? You might focus your major time and energy in on YouTube or Facebook, and you might put those reels in those other places. But your time, like I was just describing in the previous one where I was saying avoiding real conversation, maybe your conversations happen on Facebook or YouTube lives or whatever it's going to be, but your platform, your home, so to speak, your base, let's put it that way, is going to be one or the other. And then you feed that one with the others, right? You might say on Instagram and Facebook, come find me on YouTube, and on TikTok, come find me on YouTube. That's what I did. I go to my YouTube channel, go to my YouTube channel, go to my YouTube channel. For those of you that have seen my content, I usually relate back to my YouTube channel. Now, can you help the others with that YouTube channel? Sure, right? You go to my YouTube channel, and let's see. What do you see? I grabbed the wrong mouse there. What do you see? Right? There's links to my Facebook, right? And I interact with my Facebook. But to start with, I just pushed really hard on one. All right. I hope that makes sense. Don't make the mistake of trying to be everything to everyone and try to be every place at the same time, extremely focused. All right. Can you put the post there? Sure. Should you? I personally feel like there's a lot of opinions out there. I think you should. It's free advertising, but don't focus a bunch of time there. Just have the account, get it posted, and bring the people to your hub where you can help them, nurture them, take care of them, be of assistance to them. Okay. All right. Enough said on that one. Letting failure and setbacks get the best of you. Okay, guys, this is really common. It's probably the most common. Comparing yourself to others. Obviously, we've all experienced this. Here's the deal. Letting setbacks get the best of you. So every person that you can identify on the planet that has done something of substance has had setbacks. Every single one. Probably one of the most famous cases, if you don't know. Michael Jordan was kicked off of his high school basketball team, right? For various reasons. Now, if Michael Jordan would have taken that to heart and been like, well, I guess I'm just not good enough. You know what he did? He put in the time, energy, and effort to get better. And then he came back and he was put back on the team. And if you know anything about Michael Jordan or basketball at all, right, the Bulls, what did he become? He became a legend. But if he had listened to that initial setback, he had multiple other setbacks throughout his life, but that primary setback, if he would have listened to that, what would have happened? We would have never had that. He would have never been that. That's what would have happened. So, when you go out in life, let's say you set out in sales, you set out in affiliate marketing, which is sales of a sorts for sure. What's going to happen? The probability that you're just going to hit the ground running and you're going to be this massive success overnight is probably not true. You're going to have to learn to build a skill set, right? And what I teach in Endless Income Academy is TSM: tool set, skill set, mindset, right? Why? Because all three of those are major components to being successful in anything in life, right? You got to have the tool set, but if you have the tool set and you don't know how to use it, it doesn't really matter. So now what? You need the skill set, don't you? In addition to the tool set. Now, if you have the skill set and the tool set, but your mindset sucks and you quit at every turn and you get shiny object syndrome and you're always chasing something new, you're never going to be the authority in your niche because you never stay around long enough to learn how to be an authority, do you? So all three of them, tool set, skill set, mindset, are massive when it comes to not letting failure get the best of you. I'm going to be really clear with you guys. Do you know when you fail? Not when you have a setback. It's when you quit. That's when you fail, right? And I forget who said that, right? I'd give him credit, but I don't remember who said it. I've heard it so many times in my life in so many various different ways. Bottom line, you fail when you walk away. Remember that. Don't let it get the best of you. Don't set unrealistic expectations from the beginning because you're just going to disappoint yourself. Am I saying don't set your goals high? No, I'm not. I'm saying don't be unreasonable with yourself based on some guru's claim that they made money overnight and now you think you should too. It's not realistic. They've spent years building an audience. Okay? So, remember what I said in the beginning. Realistically, to start seeing a substantial gain, 6 to 12 months. That's honest, and it's real, and it's attainable. Number 10, not finding a mentor you resonate with, right? The fastest way to expedite whatever you're trying to do is to find somebody that's already done it, already made a ton of mistakes, and has a complete system from A to Z, right? They don't leave out the parts in between. They're not trying to just milk you for the next upsale. You got to find somebody that has already done it. And you don't have to. I mean, you can forge the road yourself, for sure. The problem with that is you get on YouTube and everybody's got an opinion, right? Just like this opinion right here that I'm sharing with you. My system works. It worked for me. It's worked for thousands of other people. Same with my partner, John, right? We have a very similar thought process on all of this. It works. But if you take, let's just say you're going to build a car and you got some Rolls Royce parts, some Cadillac parts, some Nissan parts, some Subaru parts. When you meet in the garage with all your parts and you go to put it together, is it going to go together? Probably not. Not unless you're one hell of a fabricator and you have a strong grip on mechanics. And even then, it's going to require a whole lot more time than it would just to assemble something that was meant to fit together. And that's what people do. They take a little information from here and a little information from there. And it generally, the information they choose to accept generally has to do with their confirmation bias because it tends to be easy, right? Like I've dealt with that. I'll point out here. Nope, wrong mouse again. Here in this series, right? Thousands of people have used this series. But there's a little thing right in here somewhere that spells out how to use a little company, MLGS, and send emails. What happens? People grab onto that and forget about everything else I said. They're like, I just want to send emails. It'd be awesome. And I get these emails and these texts that say, well, I sent out like 50 emails and I don't have any or not a lot of sales. That's not what I said. I said use it as a tool to build, because it builds contacts, right? If you're not familiar with it, it gives you 900 new leads a day the way I've got it set up, which is awesome. But if those leads are getting cold emails from you and they have no idea who you are, and they can't find you on social media, and your email feels very much like you think they're an ATM, why would they buy anything from you, right? And maybe you understand that, maybe you don't. And maybe you've been one of those people that just took the email sequence that I showed you and just tried to use it, right? And if you are, how's that working out for you? Because that's not what I said. I said use it as a tool in conjunction with all the other things I show you. But you see, our confirmation bias wants to grab onto the concept of simplicity, speed, fast, easy. Because I don't know why. I guess because people see the internet and they're like, oh, it's this magical wonderland of money rains on your head. No, guys. It's like anywhere else on the planet. You have to give value in order to receive, right? And I don't mean that in any bad way or any chastising way. I'm simply illustrating the point of what I've experienced and why these 10 things are crucial for people to understand. If you want to be wildly successful in any sales, affiliate marketing, whatever it is you're trying to do, these things apply 1000%. Does that make sense? So I would evaluate these 10 things, evaluate your thought process and how you deal with these 10 things, and really take a hard look at it. Be honest with yourself, right? Do you deliver on these 10 things? Are one of these 10 things, or maybe all of them, part of your problem, right? If you suck at affiliate marketing and you suck at sales, I promise you, these 10 things are affecting you. Okay? Take a look at them. So, guys, you can reach out to me in several ways. As I said, my phone number's at the bottom of all my videos. You can go through the training free on YouTube. I keep grabbing the wrong mouse there. I started this series here. I'll be adding videos to this in short order for 2024. This is still valid training here. The only difference in this will be there will be new things added to this because of the addition of AI and all the stuff, right? There's already literally thousands of people that have checked out this training and are now taking part, and I've got to get my butt moving and get the next videos out. This video in particular, maybe I'll add it to the series, maybe not. I'm not entirely sure, but it would probably be useful because what I'd like to do is tie a mindset series to this. If you're interested at all in more personalized coaching and you want to expedite your results, I started a mastermind with John Artsberger, and we will be giving a 50% discount to folks to enter Endless Income Academy. If you don't know what that is, reach out to me. I'll get you some information. I'm really excited about it because it is literally a done for you up front and then leads into showing you how to build out an entire affiliate program and everything you could possibly want in the back end. We will be doing I forget how many people are there. Let's see. So there's 24 people there. We will be taking 50 people and giving a 50% discount. We actually haven't started really doing much advertising or anything on it yet. It will be launching in the next 3 weeks, so now is the time. All of the tools, all of the resources, literally content created by myself and John, you will be able to take and repost. I mean, everything you can imagine you would need as a tool is built into this thing, and we're extremely excited about it. It's an ecosystem where you keep all of your leads. We are not marketing to your leads. We are not repurposing your leads. We're not diminishing what you're trying to build while you're trying to build it, right? And that's a really common thing in affiliate marketing. So, guys, if you want to reach out to me, I've given you multiple ways to do it. If you don't, I wish you the best. I hope you take these 10 things and really analyze them and dig into them and figure out where does your problem lie, because I'm telling you now, if you do these 10 things right, you are going to be massively successful. Okay? Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.